These episodes are intended for mature audiences. Viewer and listener discretion advised. I remember, so there's a couple things that I put on my vision board for 2024. I remember saying I'm going to move out. 2024 was going to be the year I was going to move out. Learn how to be okay with death and knowing death isn't the final say and that there's more after it. We can think the person that we are missing at the time does not care, has their own life, which is true. They have their own life, but they do care. The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm scared, of course. It's something that I'm not used to, but just do it scared. There are so many things in life that will hold you back from being with the person you want to be with or going after the things that you want to do, but just do it scared. Happy New Year! Welcome to, that was crazy. Welcome to another episode on Stories of a Dandelion. Welcome to 2025. Honestly, it's crazy that it's a new year. I feel like the end of last year went by really quickly. And I didn't really do the whole goodbye to 2024, let's wipe the slate clean thing that we do. I just really was like, new year, continue to progress on my goals that I had from last year. And so that is just what I'm going to do. Just continue to set goals to achieve based off of what I wanted to achieve last year. As we are in 2025, we're 3 days into it. So just really focused on what I want to accomplish this year and what I want to get most out of myself and what I want to give most to the people around me. So yeah, we'll get into that more later on because today we are talking about the new year. We're talking about goals. We're talking about setting things up so that you are successful in this year, whatever you do, whether you're failing, but you're going to fail your way up because as we all know, you fail your way to success, or if you are wanting to make something better, if you're wanting to make a change, we're going to be talking about that in this podcast episode. So first, before we have to get into all that, let's reflect on 2024 for a minute, guys. Let's go back in time to the very beginning. So at the beginning of 2024, I was actually in Arizona. I had already planned this trip, and I went with my god sister, my ex, her girlfriend, and some of their coworkers, and we went skiing, and that was so much fun. We had so much fun. I had a good time. It was a great way to open the year. Unfortunately, at the time, I was jobless. I didn't have a job at the end of 2023, and I came into 2024 still not having a job. So from January to March, I still didn't have a job, was still looking for a job. And honestly, it went until June when I found this job that I got now. So I didn't have a job for a little over 6 months, and it was frustrating. Thankfully, I lived with my mom, so, paying the car bill, student loans and all that still kept going. And I still did have money, but it was a really hard thing at the time because at the time I believed that the one thing that I didn't want to happen to me was going to happen. I remember I had this very weird vision in high school that I was going to be living out of a box on the side of the road. Honestly, it doesn't make sense at all because my mom and my dad or my friends or my family would always bring me into their house if I'm ever having a downtime. But I don't know why. It's just when I was in high school, like that was my mindset. I think I always wanted to be so successful in life that my worst nightmare was living on the streets and like not having the support I needed in order to like get back on my feet, which again, irrational. Obviously, I have that because I went through it. And then we hit April to June. And so during this time, I'm going to let you guys know. Oh, hold on. We got to back up a little bit. I apologize before we go. January to March, we started Dandelion Diaries, which I love doing with you guys, which now has turned into Life in Texas. I love just giving you guys a little bit of behind the scenes and what's going on. It's about like 10% of what's going on in my life. It's not like, because nobody's life is perfect. I'm just showing you highlights of what's going on in my life. And I do plan to show you some insight, a little bit more insight to like what's on my mind and different things like that. I'm just learning what I want to share and what I don't want to share yet. So, but I am becoming more comfortable with just being more open, because with me sharing my story, with me sharing these stories, I understand that the connection for us to continue these type of conversation is needed, and I'm going to have to be more open in order for those connections to grow. So we're working on it. We're trying to figure out the balance between what needs to be said and what doesn't. But we began season 2 of Stories of a Dandelion at the beginning of last year, and I turned 28 years old in March. And I'll be turning 29, and I'm so excited. Like, I used to be really nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting older. And I think, growing up, I was very much scared of death. It was the one thing that I was just so afraid of. I think it's more of I never had that experience around me of somebody very close to me dying. And I've had that experience recently, as you guys know, in the past couple of years. And I've had to learn how to be okay with death and knowing death isn't the final say and that there's more after it, but also knowing that this is just a physical body. This is not like my spirit dying. My spirit doesn't die. My spirit will go to heaven, and I will be in heaven one day with, all my family and be able to be reunited with them. I think I really had a hard time with that because when you're growing up, yes, you hear the gospel. Yes, you hear the Bible. But like in your mind, like you don't connect it. You're like, that doesn't make sense. Like how do others believe this thing? Like, how is this possible? And it took me a while for me to understand it and see how it's possible. I think it's just a connection that you have to have with God in order to really understand it. And me reading more of the Bible and getting the lessons, daily lessons out of that from chapter to chapter, I'm learning more of what it means to live a fulfilled life on earth and give all you can while you're here. And, we all die. I think that was one thing that I couldn't wrap around my head, like, oh my God, I'm going to die. But it's like, we're all going to die. And it's really when you finally accept that, death it's going to happen regardless of what you do in your life. You can live your life fuller. You can give better. You can love more. It just so many different things that it transforms for you to be a better version of yourself, for you to not be afraid to take so many risks in life and really go after what makes you happy, the passions that you have, what you were called to, even though it may not seem like there's a path to get there. That one push beyond being like, look, you only live once. I'm going to give my all to this one life, and I want to live it the best way I can, doing exactly what I know I was called to do. So like that's where my mentality has come to in these last couple of years, over the last 5 years, where I've been very much becoming more comfortable with death, and what it represents. And yes, there's still days where like my heart like freaks out over it. I think that's kind of natural, because you want to live. You want to live to see what your friends and their kids and their kids' kids, or your kids and your kids' kids, grow up and everything. But that's not possible. So you just kind of be like, hey, calm down. Everything's going to be okay. You may not be on earth to see it, but you'll be in heaven looking down and watching over them and seeing it. So it's a different perspective that you have to go in with it. That kind of turned morbid for a minute, but that's just how I see it now. As I get older, I start to embrace age. And so 29 is coming, which means the last year of my 20s is coming. We have 3 months to enjoy 28. And then the last year of my 20s is coming. And I just really want to enjoy it. I really want to go out and just explore the world more. A lot of other things that we'll come to later. Let's get to April to June. So April to June, we hit 100 subs on YouTube. We started creating more solo episodes like this, me and you, looking at you guys and saying what's up and having these type of conversations. I accepted my job here in Texas, which was scary. And I went to the US Open, which was so much fun, a new experience. So yeah, had 2 new experiences during that time, going to the US Open, getting to see these golfers golf and be the best in their profession. It just really inspires you to just continuously work toward what you want to do in life and work toward your goals for the year. And just being there was so much fun. You just felt the atmosphere was fun. Yeah, it was like really hot. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was super hot, but my dad has really gotten me into golfing and I've really fallen in love with it. And so like being there and knowing a little bit more of the lingo and learning more about like the different ways to golf and what clubs to use. When you know more, you can be invested in more. So the knowledge definitely helped me be more invested in the new experience, which leads me to Texas. I had no idea what this move would do for me. I moved here and I was like, first I was like, let y'all know on a little secret. I got the email for this job that I have now. And at first I thought it was just another interview. So I said yes. Went back, read, it was for this job. So I realized that I accepted this job. I thought, because I could have definitely changed my mind. I thought back about it because when I interviewed for the job I had, I definitely didn't think I got it. I was like, there was a lot of things that I didn't know how to do, but they were willing to teach me, and they're teaching me now, and everything that I know now and everything that I'm learning, like, ooh, what a process it is. But it's a very interesting process that I am, learning every single day, and it helps you learn to be organized in your work, helps you know that you need the balance and make sure that you're doing what needs to be done so that these contracts can go through and all these different things. But I tell you guys, kid you guys not, when I first interviewed, I was like, oh, I'm not getting this. I was like, I'm not getting this job, and that's okay, because the job for me is coming. Little did I know this was the job for me. And your girl had to move to Texas, which leads us to July to September. Let's just say it was crazy because for some reason my mind wasn't clicking during June, and saying that like I got a new job, I need to pack. Like for some reason my brain just wasn't clicking, it wasn't making sense, and like I'm not the best planner. Like planning trips I can do. When it comes like and then like life growing up, a lot of people are probably looking at me like, Gina, you had everything planned growing up. No, I didn't. Things were planned out for me. I played basketball. I went to college. I got a job. Like I did the conventional thing. And I'm still in a way doing the conventional thing. But yeah, moving, like we moved 3 times in Belgium. We moved to 3 different houses, and yet it was the biggest struggle. And to be honest, when my mom moved here, it was a struggle because she was like, you need to pack up your room and like tell me what you want to keep and tell you what you don't. And I was like, all right, cool. Like you can ask her and she will tell you I packed up absolutely nothing. She's not wrong. I didn't. I went in my room and I was like, all right. And I like put a couple things in different boxes. And then she was like, I opened up cupboards and there were still things in them. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I am the worst at moving. There's something about moving that's just so, I don't want to say it's hard because I do love like moving across the country was so exciting, but it was the process that I was just like completely uninterested in. And I was just like, oh, but I do need to pack. And so I was packing everything in my room that needed to go and the things that I was going to leave behind. And I was like, okay, here goes nothing. And then like we pack up the back of the thing on July 11th. I moved out here. We pack up the back of the U-Haul on the back of my car and we drive the 13 to 16 hours to Texas. And here we are. This has been the biggest change of my year. And it's not because of the job, it's because of the move. Like the move to a place that I've never experienced before, the move to the West. Like I've lived all up and down the East Coast. Like my grandma and them are up north, Connecticut, New York area, that type of thing. I have family in Virginia. I was born in Virginia. I have family in Maryland. And then I lived in North Carolina because of, college. And then I lived in Georgia, like all up and down the East Coast. Like that was my life. And now I'm on the West Coast, the coast I got no idea about. But I was really excited because I remember, so there's a couple things that I put on my vision board for 2024. I remember saying I'm going to move out. 2024 was going to be the year I was going to move out. I did. 2024 was going to be the year that I was going to move west. I said I was going to move out and a little bit of away from my family just to really start adulting and being an adult. I really thought my parents were going to be against this move. They're going to be like, that's too far. But they were all really supportive. My parents, my family friends and everything like that, they were all really supportive of this move, which told me that it was the right move because I'd felt peace, the moment I was like, all right, I'm moving to Texas. Like God gave me peace, but I just knew that it was going to take time to also convince like my parents, but it took no time at all. My dad, just a little bit, because he was like, what about the weather? What about this? And then he did some research on San Antonio and everything. And he was like, oh, well, it's not as, they don't get as many storms or anything like that. So you're enough inward where the weather's not crazy and you're not going to get all these crazy storms. Sounds like a good place. So he got on board. He hopped on board. Having a couple friends out here as well definitely helped with the move. Knowing people where you're going and knowing that there's other people around you in the area definitely makes the move easier. So we came out here and we've been out here officially for almost 6 months. It'll be 6 months in a couple of weeks here, and I'm really enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying growing into adulthood to be honest with you, and cooking and working out. Have my Christmas tree up, hosting Christmas for the first time, which, guys, I know I told you guys last episode that I was going to tell you what happened. It went really well. Like, when we get to December, I'll share more of like what happened, but it was a lot of fun. It went really well. And I've just been having a lot of fun learning more about myself, separate from my mom, especially because I was always called Little Dottie. I was always being told I am like, you are an extension of your parents, but you are your own person. And so if I was with my dad, I was little Al. And then if I was with my mom, I was Little Dottie. So it's like, for once, I can just be Gina. And when people meet me, they're just meeting me. And then they get to meet my parents. And they'll be like, oh, that's where Gina gets it from. So like, instead of it being the other way around, now it's just me just being myself. And I know some people are like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it does make a big difference when you can stand on your own and learn more about yourself, appreciate the things that you got from your parents, and also see the things that were cultivated from your childhood that is just you. So it's very beautiful to see and to grow into, and to learn more about, like I said, learn more about being an adult, which requires paying your bills, which, woo, we brought in the New Year's, y'all, but like that same day, all of us were paying rent and electricity and water. So like, how much of a party was it? Because it wasn't much of a party for me, y'all. But to be honest, like seriously, like just really adulting. And I think we very much undervalue the ability to be able to take care of yourself, as well as like along the way, if somebody needs something from you, being able to also lend a hand to others. I think we super duper underestimate that. Not saying it in a way of being independent, but in a way of your community supporting you so well that when you do go out on your own and you're able to create a community for yourself and also be that same person that you were raised to be to that community, if that makes sense. So it's just a better way of being able to cultivate, learn, grow, and be with the people that are new to you, but will soon become your community and become the people that you go to now and they go to you. Like, it's just different. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just different. I don't want to say like individuality is this greatest thing, because it's not. Like, if it wasn't for the people that I have here, if it wasn't for the people, as I always say, that I have at home, like I wouldn't be where I am and I wouldn't be this strong person. So I very much say community focused is very important. At the same time, in order for you to be a part of a community, you have to continue to grow. You have to continue to evolve in order to be somebody who brings love and betterness to that community, to not only make yourself better, but to make the other people around you better. All right, let's get into October to December. So we continued to set up the apartment and everything because we had absolutely nothing. And got used to my new environment here in Texas. And then I hosted Christmas for the first time, guys. Like, those are the things. And I know like some of you are like, whoa, somebody may be thinking like that's not a huge thing. Like for me, all of this stuff is huge. Like hosting Christmas for the first time, like I was so nervous. I was so nervous to host Christmas because my mom had bought the tree. She knew I wasn't going to get it. I've already told you guys. Like I probably wouldn't have gotten a tree. I would have been like, all right, whatever. Like Christmas is Christmas. It's about the wreaths and not the decorations. But she got me a tree and I had to go get decorations for it. And I did. And the tree turned out to be really nice and really beautiful. And then like we went to the ice sculptures here. They had like a Grinch. They were telling the Grinch story in ice sculptures. It was so cool. We had so much fun doing that. And then the next day we went to Houston and we went and visited Kirsten and her kids. And we had a lot of fun down there hanging out for the day. It was really good to see her and see a new city. New city unlocked. Okay. Houston, Texas. And it was a beautiful day. It was a warm day, but not too hot. And we had a lot of fun just exploring downtown a little bit. And then Saturday, we went out. We got a bike because I'll be doing something in this year that will be the biggest challenge I have ever done. But that was also fun. Like, me and my mom, we got up, we took Snickers, and we just went out to the different bike shops, found a bike. It should be here soon. And yeah, the biggest challenge that I've ever done in my life, it's about to happen. And I cannot wait to do it. I cannot wait to experience it. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I want to, like, my mind, I've been very much convincing my mind, like, we got to do this. But I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Like, that's how big of a challenge it is. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, December was great. And then my mom left that Sunday. She got home and, like, it was a different goodbye. Like, it wasn't like all the other goodbyes before. This goodbye felt a little different. It felt like she was like, oh, my daughter's adulting. And I felt like I was really adulting. And it was one of those, like, this is happening. Like, this is really happening type of goodbyes that, like, are dynamic, are day to day, even though it had already switched and changed. I think it really set in that time where I was like, I'm an adult. I am learning, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm changing. And, like, we're both living our lives individual from one another. And even though me and my mom talk every day, she is my best friend. I love her. It's just being in each other's presence that it's like, oh, this is what matters. This is what matters most. And you can lose that sometimes, you know, especially with mother-daughter relationships. You can lose that perspective on it. So being able to spend that time with her and then having that goodbye and that shift really was just a good time. It was a good Christmas and I really enjoyed it. Hey guys, we are on air. I know, right? So cool to have this. But I interrupt this podcast to ask you guys to please follow us on all of our social media sites. We have Instagram, YouTube, the podcast on anywhere you get your podcast. And please share and like this episode and comment if this episode has affected you in any way. Because the more you comment, the more you like, the more you share, the more people we reach. And the more people we reach means the more the story of mental health and military brats change. So please go and follow us on all of these websites and please share it with whoever and whomever you believe these stories will help change. Because I know that all of these stories thus far has already helped change my life. So again, I thank you guys for watching. And please like, share, comment, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. And then now we're here in January. It is 2025. Can't believe I keep saying that. I can't believe it's 2025, but it is. I just brought in 2025 with one of my homies. Toma came through and we just literally watched. There was fireworks going on everywhere. Fireworks behind my apartment, fireworks in front of my apartment, fireworks like down the road. I think it was, I don't know if it was downtown, but wherever that place was, the fireworks was going and we were watching it. Fireworks on the other side. So it was just everywhere. Poor Snickers was like, you know, as dogs are when it comes to fireworks. But it was really nice to see. It was really amazing. Me and him caught up and we talked and relaxed. And then the year started. I went to sleep and the year started and I went to work out on New Year's Day because, like I said, the biggest challenge that I have in 2025 is coming. So with that being said, the chapter of 2024 has closed. And we are here in chapter 2025, where it is not written yet, but we are going to talk about a couple of goals that I have in the new year. So the goals that I have are, before we start that, I want to share with you guys the word that I have for the year. As I told you guys at the beginning, I'm not about wiping the slate clean and going into this new year with like a new start, new me, whatever. Same me, because I love who I am, and I'm going to continue to grow to be a better person every single day. So the word for this year is, drumroll please, progress. Yes, progress is the word for the year. It's honestly just progressing in the things that I want to accomplish for the year, progressing in the challenges that I'm challenging myself to do this year. So all things progress when it comes to life, community, love, happiness, joy, things that I'm scared of, progression. So let's get to it. Apartment. I do enjoy my apartment. At the same time, you guys know I want a podcast studio. So August is when my lease is up here. We have that time to look for another apartment, try to find a 2-bedroom within a reasonable price, okay, where I can make a studio or find a 1-bedroom with an office. There's some of those out here. So we are searching to stay in the same area. Obviously, I love where I am. It's so amazing. Everything's within arm's length, but that's anywhere where I live. So it's all good, but I just really like where I live. And so we're trying to stay here. And I want to make a podcast studio because I want to have I do have some people that I want to interview that live right here. Also have some people that can, come visit and we can do interviews. I want to be able to have that in my apartment, a podcast studio where we can go in, have these conversations, and continue to share with you guys. I want to have a designated space for this because I want this to grow. I want this to go out even further to more people. And also, obviously, it'll be /office because I'm probably going to do, work from home. Whenever we get to work from home, I'll work in there. And then also editing these and different things like that. But it'll also be a movie room because I really want to get a projector and watch movies and have popcorn. So, it's multifaceted room, okay? But that's what I want. I want to have a new apartment where I can have a podcast studio and really just bring this podcast to another level. Now, the podcast, since we're already starting talking about it, I want to have at least 3 episodes with experts this year. Either experts on mental health, physical health, environmental health, all things mind, body, and soul. I want to have an expert on this podcast talking about all of it. Because, like I said, stories are great. Sharing them, you can relate to them. It can speak to you. It's a way for us to reconnect with those that we may not have seen or talked to in a while. But also, I want to bring the tools. I want to bring the people on that will share the tools that we need in order to live our best lives. I want to find an editor. I know. But I want to figure out how to, again, it's 2025. We got to adjust the budget in different ways. Depending on how this year goes, we might be able to find an editor because recording, editing, finding people to get on the podcast, that's a lot on my plate when I'm already working and also working out because of the challenge that I'm doing at the end of the year. It's a lot on the plate. And if I can get one thing, which is the biggest thing, which is editing off and having somebody comprehend my vision of how I want the podcast to look and be able to share that with you guys, I would love it. I would love it. So that is the direction we're moving in. We're trying to slowly, one step at a time. And apparel. So this is a way to connect to the community, to connect together. And so I've been working on apparel behind the scenes that I'm excited to share with you guys. It'll be happening soon within this month, actually, because I've worked on it. I've looked at it. I just need to get a sample or two of the apparel. And then I want to, bring that to you guys. I want to be able to connect this community in every single way. And apparel is one of the ways to be able to do that. I think you guys are going to really enjoy it, really like it. So we're going to bring that out slowly. Not like quickly and stuff like that, but slowly, get a feel for it real quick. And I want to have at least 3 group podcast episodes. So it seems like you guys liked my last one with Manasa and PJ, where we talked about love and relationships and had that conversation. Well, we're going to flip it on the head. We're going to have a conversation with the woman and how they see relationships nowadays in this new day and age. Then we're going to have another conversation with the men and the woman about life and being an adult. And lastly, I don't know the last one yet. I don't know what the subject will be in terms of a group conversation. But if you have any ideas, definitely comment them down below. And I will start putting that together and we'll start getting them out there. So be on the lookout. And then lastly, honestly, this is probably the most outrageous for the podcast goal that I have in my mind. And that's fine. I want to build this to be one of the biggest podcasts out there. I want to build it to be one of the top 5 podcasts for mental health that people listen to. Period. And I know that sounds crazy and it sounds like an outrageous goal, but I love doing this podcast. I love sharing these stories. I love hearing how these stories are affecting you guys and how it's helping you guys. And so I want to continue and be even more committed this year than I was last year to recording these podcast episodes, which means, hey, there might be more one-on-one with us. I know that means that I'm going to have to, start scheduling better. I've never been good with schedules in terms of like ones that weren't really set for me. Like, I think when it comes to entrepreneurship, people think like people who are entrepreneurs, like they automatically know all these different things and what to do and how to do it. Not true. You're learning the process. You're learning how to schedule, when to schedule this for you, especially when it comes to your energy, like what to give your energy to, when to give your energy to, so that you can give your best to everything that needs to be done for whatever business that you're doing or service that you're doing. So it's just all learning curve, but we can all be entrepreneurs. I just want to put that out there. If you really, truly want to succeed in something and want to be your own boss, you can do it. You don't need to have this perfect plan or anything like that. Just start. Just do it. I started doing that with this podcast, and I had to really learn, recording with people, how to ask questions, when to listen more, when to kind of intercept to clarify things. And I'm still learning how to do that. It's not something that you learn overnight. It's a continuous process. It's continuous progression. So I'm still learning how to do that, and I'm still growing in it. But here's the next step, right? Scheduling and being on a schedule so that we can get a weekly one out. That's what I want to do. I'm going to do my best. I can't say I'm going to be perfect because things may come up, but I'm going to do everything that I can to hit every Military Brat Monday. That is very Very, 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 very big goal. But I want to stick to it. I want to do it. And hold me accountable, y'all. Hold me accountable. So this is number 1. Next week will be number 2. We got a couple solo series that are going to be coming out, which I'm excited to share with you guys. So yeah, cannot wait for that. Now, let's get into it. I've been telling you and kind of being like, hey, I got a bicycle for this thing I'm going to do. I didn't get a regular bicycle. Y'all know how we were when we were kids. I didn't get one of those bicycles, okay? No, I got a bike. It hasn't come in yet, so you probably won't see it in this video. I'll probably just show you a picture somewhere up here. But I got a bike. It's a gravel bike for those who know more about bikes than I do. I'm excited because it can be a gravel bike or a road bike depending on the tires. I'm excited because I really do enjoy biking. I enjoy it so much. I don't know, like people say they get this runner's high. I get biker's high. Like biking it with like heart rate and really just pushing myself. Like it's similar to running a runner's high for me. And I just really enjoy it. And so this year I want to finish first in March a 40-mile ride. That's number 1. There will probably be a ride in April. That's going to be a 65-mile ride. Then there'll be a ride. I haven't locked in the April one just yet, but there might be one in April, 65 miles. Then the end of next year in November, I want to do a 100-mile cycle race, an ultra. Apparently, I don't know where the ultras began. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but I think 50. So I was wrong, guys. Apparently, for ultra, for runners, it's anything over 26.2 miles. And then for bikers, it's anything over 125 miles. So I will not be becoming an ultra biker yet, but we will be working into, get there in 2026. But I just wanted to clarify that real quick. I am going to continue to say ultra probably throughout the rest of this video. So just so you know, not going to be at ultra level yet, but working toward that in terms of biking. So I think I'll already kind of be in the ultra range by the time I get to November. But the reason why I'm doing this is because my pop would have been 100 this year. And so I wanted to do something challenging for myself to honor him. And so cycling is something I really been enjoying doing. As you guys know, on my YouTube, I was going to do the ride for veterans from Virginia to Pennsylvania, which I plan to do in 2026. So hint for 2026. But I wanted to do something to honor him. And so I'm doing a 100-mile race on my bike in November. His birthday is in November. So we're going to do a bike ride at the end of the year. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Just learning and figuring things out, learning a new craft. Basketball came easy to me. Volleyball, sports usually came easy to me. And cycling, the gist of it is easy. But the mental aspect of this, this is 100 miles. This is not a basketball game that takes 40 minutes where I can decide to run and not to run and all these different things. This is a bike ride. Yes, I know that there'll be times where I'm not going to have a choice and probably have to walk my bike in different areas because my legs are so tired. But this and different elevations at the same time. Um, yeah, this is completely new. First of all, everybody who knows me knows that I hate outside things, but cycling is one thing that I don't hate, guys. I don't know what it is, but cycling is the one thing I don't hate. I don't like it rains all the time. So me having to deal with the elements. I love the cold season. I also like the ability to get warm in the cold season. So just like getting the clothes that I need, getting the equipment, the accessories that I need for this and everything. It has been a process, but it's been a fun one. And it's been one that I've really enjoyed because basketball was a love that is still there. It's still here in my heart. I love basketball so much. And so to find something else that I can do and enjoy has been amazing. It kind of brings me back to that time where I discovered basketball for the first time as a 5-year-old and was outside in the backyard playing basketball. And it's like if I have that same childlike feeling now going into cycling and learning what to do, how to do it, when I should stand, when I should sit, training my legs, learning how to pedal better so that I don't tire my legs out so much. The mental capacity of saying, okay, we're hit 20 miles, we have another hour, we need to hit 40 miles, and like figuring that out, the intensity, the hybrid athlete of it all, doing cardio while also doing strength training because strength training will make my bike riding better, like all of it, learning the nutrition. Shout out to Paris for helping me out with that and all the people on YouTube, Lucy, Nick, all the people who are on YouTube who are like big in the hybrid space. Shout out to y'all for definitely helping me with like nutrition and just learning more about how to feel my body, why sleep is so important, why food is so important, why your stress levels and these different things are so important. Honestly, because I've decided to challenge myself, which I started doing. I decided this in November. So I've been training already, which you'll see some videos about that coming out soon as like a behind the scenes. But I've already been training for that. And I've been like having like this new energy that's different. I eat more avocados. I eat like better fats. I eat like before I would never touch a blueberry because like they're to me tasteless. They taste like absolutely nothing. But now I mix it with raspberries and blackberries and strawberries. Like I have more fruits and vegetables in my diet than I used to. Not saying I didn't have a lot because I always ate at home and stuff, but I think like having a burger and stuff like that was a lot easier than like actually cooking more. And I was cooking more, but at the tone that I have to cook more now because I need more calories. But shout out because y'all know I'm an eater. I love to eat. Your girl can eat. So it's been nice, but to eat properly, to eat in a healthier manner. I hate breakfast. I am not a breakfast girl. Not saying I hate breakfast food. I just don't have, I don't even hate breakfast. I don't have an appetite 9 times out of 10 at breakfast time. So I just have coffee and I like work. But now because I'm doing this, like it's forcing me to eat. So like kind of doing things that you don't want to do, but you know that you have to do because it's going to make you better later, or it's going to, it's going to make the workout better later. I get it. I understand. It's a little thing, but that little thing adds up and it can add to bigger things. So like I've just been learning more about myself, more about the process of cycling and really challenging myself in more ways than just physical. And it's been challenging me emotionally, spiritually, and mentally as well. So I'm excited about it. And obviously, I'm going to share with you guys what's going on, how it's going, the lessons that I'm learning along the way. There'll be a podcast series on it. It'll be called, where's my phone? I have way too many things in different areas. It'll be called Road to Hybrid. And I'm excited to start that series with you guys. It'll be Road to Hybrid series for like the YouTube episodes of me sharing with you guys my training, my eating habits, my life as becoming a hybrid athlete, a beginner hybrid athlete, and then also a podcast episodes about it from time to time, about the lessons that I've learned and everything like that. So that is the cycling portion. That is my big challenge for myself in this next year, doing 100-mile bike ride. I'm really excited about it. I'm also really nervous about it, but I cannot wait to do it, and I cannot wait to experience, whether I succeed or fail in it, the fact that I am trying and working toward it, which I believe I'm going to succeed. I just have to continue to put in the work in order to do so. It's just a simple fact of enjoying the training, enjoying the moments, enjoying the journey to the destination and then beyond. So that is what I'm really excited about. All right. So this year, in terms of relationships, I want to spend more time with the people I love, which means learning how to balance schedule, share with the people I love that I miss them. I think a lot of times for us, we can think the person that we are missing at the time does not care, has their own life, which is true. They have their own life, but they do care, because if they didn't, they wouldn't be an important person in your life, right? And so just kind of saying, hey, I miss you. We should get something on the books to meet up soon. I want to start doing that more and planning out more time with family and friends and figuring out how to make that happen, you know? And then I want to develop more friendships here and community here. So I've joined a couple of cycling communities. So when I get my bike, I'm going to be going out there. There's a Black Girls Bike Club here that I'm excited to join and be a part of. There is some breweries who do bike rides in the evenings, so excited to try those as well. So yeah, we've got a couple of ways to grow the community, grow friendships, and I cannot wait to do that and be a part of that. I want to continue to grow in myself, continue to be a better version of myself for me and my relationships. And for any future relationship that is romantic or any future relationships that are romantic or platonic, I want to be the best version of myself in that. So I'm excited for that as well. Travel. Okay, guys. So last year, with, not having a job and then having a job, haven't been traveling a lot. I've been going home and coming back here, but haven't been going out and about. So I want to go to 3 different states. Now that can be driving distance or flying distance. I want to go to 2 new states. Again, driving or flying. But Texas is kind of big. But if I can make it a road trip with one of my homies, I think it'll be a good time. And then I have friends in all these different places. And I got a couple Delta cards that need to be used. So gives us an opportunity to go out and about and enjoy life, enjoy travel, hang out with some friends along the way, experience some new places, and just get out of Texas for a couple days, Yes, I want to at least have one road trip this year because flying is fun, but road trips are also fun. So just having one road trip. And then personal growth. Ooh, here we go. I want to read at least 5 educational books. I've listened to them, but I want to physically read 5 books. Oh, honestly, physically reading is hard for me, so it might be having to listen. Growing up, I was in a reading class. And so for a time, reading didn't come to me easy, even though I started reading at the age of 3. I started having problems when I was in, I don't know, third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. I started having problems reading. I would get words mixed up. I didn't know, obviously, you're learning words as you grow up, but didn't know certain words. I didn't know how to sound them out or really pronounce them well. I used to be very scared sitting in class of somebody, like the teacher, calling on me to read. I remember one day the teacher did call on me to read, and I read, and my friends were like, "You read fine. Like, what's the problem? Why are you in that reading class?" And I was like, I don't know, being kind of like that nonchalant person. But to be honest, I knew why. Like, I just didn't read well. And the reason I did so well was because I read the paragraph before and made sure that I knew all the words. And I think I raised my hand at the time because she was like, "Yeah, raise your hand if you want to read whatever part." And I was first one because I knew every word and I could easily read it. So yeah, I was that kid that kind of overcompensated. Yeah, overcompensated at the time. But yeah, so I want to get into more educational books, ways to help me grow personally, ways to help me be a better person. Any way to get 1% better every day, right? And then, so put the podcast that I listen to. So the podcasts that I listen to, which are very much Diary of a CEO, The School, I think it's called The School of Greatness, different podcasts like that are the podcasts that I listen to that I enjoy listening to. And I want to put those into practice more this year. I put them into practice somewhat last year, but when I listen, I want to write down and be like, okay, how am I going to apply this to my life? And so I listen to podcasts a lot, all day, every day at work, because when you live in an environment where like everybody's talking, everybody's around you because we're all working, it's one of the ways that helps me just focus in and do what I need to do while also listening to a podcast. And so I want to put more of that knowledge into action for my life. And so, yeah, we're going to try to do that and just kind of take some certain things from the different podcasts and apply them to my life in a way that's going to help me grow. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. It says develop a better financial plan. Yes. So as, adulting, you got to have a financial plan. You got to develop it better. One of the first ways that I'm doing this year is my job is offering a 401k class and how to, invest better and different things like that. So I'm taking that class. It's next Saturday. And I'm excited because, financial planning for the future. But as we all know, you can also just learn different things to be able to use money better now. And that's what it said in the email. So I'm excited to do that and learn more because we're not really taught much in school about a 401k or what it is. Like, we know what a 401k is, but how it's set up and all these different things. We're not taught the ins and outs of it. We're very taught the surface level. So I'm excited to go a little bit deeper into that. And then just better budgeting, better financial planning for months out. And so that is what I want to do. I want to sit down with myself at least once every 2 weeks to financially plan for that next month, for that next couple of weeks. So that is what I want to do more of, just be better with my finances. I want to continue to become the best version of myself as a sister, as a daughter, as a friend, as a future wife, potentially a future mom. I want to continue to grow those traits that are needed to be every single one of those things that I just said. So that is what I want to do, learn more about. And yeah, just kind of keep my mindset open romantically as well of what can happen in the future. Set up the importance of sleep. Sorry, I couldn't read that for a second. Set up the importance of sleep. Sleep is so important. I think we underestimate sleep. When people are like, oh, I don't sleep. I sleep like this and that. for us as women, we need like 8 to 10 hours in order for us to be a full functioning human being. Men, they can do like 4 to 7. So, but for us, we need a full 8 hours. And I've learned that very much over the last month or so, that I've been taking my sleep a lot more serious. I, get ready for the evening. When the time comes, I'm like, okay, I've eaten, I've walked Snickers, let the food digest. Then I have a matcha. The matcha kind of helps me sleep. I go and get ready. I, wash my face, brush my teeth, get in bed. And my sleep has been so much better. So much better, y'all. So I've got to say, sleep is very important. If you're not taking your sleep seriously right now, you need to start taking your sleep seriously, because you'll start seeing the changes in your energy, the changes in your mood when you really put your sleep like at a top priority for you. Oh, wake up on time every day. This last week, have not been doing that. Yeah, I want to wake up at the same time consistently daily. And so that's just going to have to start happening. And we're going to try to start tomorrow. I said try. We're going to try to start tomorrow. Last night didn't really work out. Had a lot of other things to do outside of sleep at the time. So I got a little extra sleep in this morning, and still got to work on time, y'all. So just know your balance, but really waking up every day consistently at the same time does help with your body, knowing when you're asleep, when you're awake, when you have a whole bunch of different times that you wake up and go to sleep. Your body really doesn't know when it's time to rest and recover or to be awake and working. So I want to make sure of that, especially with everything that I want to accomplish in this year. I need to have a steady sleep schedule. Lastly, for personal growth, honestly, I want to better my fashion, y'all. And when I say that, I think I do enjoy my fashion. I just want to have, I really enjoy dressing up for work. I also enjoy having a little bit of a dressier fit for going out, even if it's to a movie or for dinner. I like having a little bit of a dressier fit. And even if it's dressy casual, I like it. I really like the confidence that it gives me as I walk out the door. Your clothes really do change your mood. And so I want to continue to do that, be better. And it just gives me more confidence as I walk out the door. Just gives you more, just kind of to walk out into this world and be like, I can conquer whatever's thrown at me today. And your outfit can change that. That's a mood changer right there. So that is why I really want to invest more in how I look. Now let's get into networking. Networking is so important when it just comes to everyday life. Having connections, having relationships, having friendships are so important. So what I want to do is go to at least 2 networking events a month. Connect with at least 3 people at these events. That means I have to talk to people, which you guys know. I mean, growing up, easy stuff. I want to get back into that, talking to people and more people being easy. It's easy when you're at work and you know people and you kind of have to talk to each other, but it's different when you're in an environment where you can just walk around and not have to talk to anybody. So forcing and putting myself out there more into uncomfortable situations and finding a way to face my fears in that situation and doing my best to connect with others. It's just helping me with communication, helping me with connections and community and growth. And that is how I see these different events that I want to go to. I want to go to at least one event that'll help with the podcast, learning more about lighting or different things like that. So different industries that are having events. I want to go to at least one every couple months, because I know they're not happening all the time, to learn more about how I can develop the podcast better, or find an expert on something in that place that will come on the podcast and share the tools that are needed for different things. So that is one thing that I really do want to do with networking. Yeah, I had to look it over real quick, guys. Sorry. That's it, though. Like, those are my goals for 2025. I honestly didn't expect this episode to be an hour, but it is. And I'm excited for what 2025 is going to be. I'm excited for what 2025 has. If it's a continuation of 2024, it'll be good. These last 6 months have been great, have been really fun about learning and growing and experiencing. I know there's going to be ups and downs in this year. I'm just excited to face them head on this year. And I hope you guys are too. I cannot wait to share more stories with you guys, to get the experts on, to go on this journey with you guys as I become a hybrid athlete. And my saying for the year is just do it scared. I moved to Texas, did it scared. I didn't know what to expect, but man, has it been an amazing experience. I decided to do an ultra. I'm scared, of course. It's something that I'm not used to, but just do it scared. There are so many things in life that will hold you back from being with the person you want to be with, or going after the things that you want to do. But just do it scared, man. Like, it may not turn out the way you think, but what if it does? What if it does? Like, give it a try and do it scared. At least you tried. And at least you can say you tried and you didn't just give up. So I encourage you guys to go out and go after your dreams this year. And yeah, that'll be tattooed on my body somewhere soon. Go out, guys, and just do it scared. I love you. I thank you. I hope that you guys are having an awesome start to your new year. Can't wait to see where this year takes us. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another episode on Stories of a Dandelion. We have a couple of people coming on the podcast, a couple that I am reconnecting with, and a couple that I'm connecting with for the first time. So be on the lookout, as well as other solo episodes as we start Road to Hybrid series and other solo episodes along the way. So stay tuned. I love you guys. I thank you for tuning in. And if you have lasted this long, shout out to you. May your 2025 be the greatest blessing thus far. All right. Peace. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. There are a ton more tea time episodes, as well as stories that are going to be shared on this podcast to come. So please like and subscribe or follow down below. And I will see you all next Military Rap Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I am so excited to continue this journey with all of you.